Hey y'all, and welcome to the Steward's Ledger, where we budget with purpose and live with joy. I'm Alicia, a wife, mom, teacher, and now your budgeting bestie, walking this faithful finance journey right alongside you. On this channel, we are on a mission to get out of debt, to build wealth, and to honor God with our money. I would love for you to join us on this journey, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button and let's jump on in. In today's video, we're going to be walking through our second paycheck range and our second paycheck's budget for the month of June. I'll be making some final adjustments to carry us through the end of the month, and I'll be using the Intentionally Rich Digital Planner by Baddies and Budgets, which you can find in the description below if you want to use it as well. I do all of our planning digitally, and I always try to share the tools that I use just in case they're helpful for you and you would like to use them as well. So you can find those links down in the description below. This is our last set of paychecks in June. This is the paycheck that we will be using to help us wrap up our month and prep for July. So just a quick update. Earlier this month, we did end up reaching our goal for our emergency fund, but we ended up having to dip into it unexpectedly because we had a car repair. Unfortunately, that is life. But fortunately, we had the money there and we were able to use it. So thank God for that. That is what that money was for. So I'm so glad we had it when we needed it. So now we're back on baby step 1, but only for a short time because we will be fully funding that emergency fund again in July. And we'll be kicking off baby step 2 with our debt confession and working on our debt snowball. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any of that. What we're working on with this paycheck will be the income that we received. We'll be talking about the actual numbers. We'll go into our bills and what's left to pay for the month. And then cash envelopes. I'm not doing any cash stuffing for this paycheck because the only things we have left are our gas and groceries, which will be paid using our debit card. Moving forward, they will be cash envelope categories, and so I'm going to be cash stuffing them in the future. Honestly, I think I'm just in my head and wanted to start the month off using cash from the very beginning, but I didn't do that this month, so I don't really want to pick it up in the middle of the month. So I will be starting cash stuffing in July for sure. The last thing we would have talked about was sinking funds, but we are not going to be funding any sinking funds with this paycheck range. Our savings will all be focused on in July. All right, let's get into the remainder of June and what we're going to be budgeting for. All right, y'all, so this is the Intentionally Rich Digital Planner by Baddies and Budgets. Super cute cover, and as you swipe through, you will see these tabs pop up, as well as the intro page where you write your name and your phone number. So you see these tabs over here on the right, April, May, June, all of that, the month tabs. That's not on the first page, that's on this second page once you swipe. So once you do swipe, we're going to go in and we're going to go to June. If you want me to give you a full, tour of this planner, I can do that. Just let me know and I will go through and do that for you. But for right now, so this is our monthly view of everything that's going on. It is the 15th when I am filming this. I went ahead and crossed that off because that is today and all of those bills have come out. And so, yeah, I crossed that off. Then we're going to swipe. So there's 2 ways you can get to where we need to be. You can just swipe, but that'll bring you to the monthly. Or up here, you'll see the different buttons. You'll see monthly budget, spending plan, cash breakdown, expense tracker, debt progress, net worth, and yearly. You can just click up there where you need to go. And so since we are doing the paycheck budget, we're going to go to spending plan. All right, so this is what the spending plan looks like. This is where we will write out our specific budget or paycheck breakdown. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit, or a lot. I'm going to zoom in, and up here at the top where it says date, I'm going to write the date range that this check will be covering, or that these checks will be covering, because of course I get a check and my husband gets a check. And so this month we just so happen to be paid at the same time, like during the same weeks. And so this paycheck will be ranged from $6.15 to $6.25. And so we've already received our checks. So I'm just going to put our balance. Normally I would put, Tim's paycheck, how much he received, and then Alicia's paycheck, how much I received in my actual, but I am a little behind on doing this. We have received our checks already. We have had bills already come out since we've gotten paid. So I'm just going to put what our current balance is and go ahead and budget that balance. All right, so I'm just going to put in our actual because this is what we actually have currently, $3,813.93. All right, and so then that would come down to our total, $3,813.93. All right, next I'm going to move to my fixed expenses. Okay, so we do have a charge for $614, but it has not been withdrawn yet, so I do want to include it because it has not processed yet. So I am going to include the things that are pending but have not processed. So that will include the things due on the 14th and 15th that have not processed and will come out after the 15th. All right, so I hope that makes sense. All right, so budgeted would be $43.22. As I said, this is a transaction that is pending, and this was the actual amount that is pending, so I'm going to put the actual. Then we have a charge for our children's daycare. This has not been charged yet. I'm going to actually find out why not, because this is a big lump sum of money that needs to go ahead and come out of the account. Then we have Planet Fitness, and I will say this is supposed to be for bills and subscriptions, as you can see right there, not just bills. So all of your fixed expenses. All right, that is $25.05. Then $618 chat GPT, and that is $20. Then we have $622, our power company, and that's $113.12. Then we have Apple Care. So I would usually not even buy Apple Care, but last year I ended up sitting on my iPad, y'all. Now, not just sitting on it flat, it was like leaning up against the seat, and when I sat on it, it like bent it in half and cracked my whole entire screen. It was so horrible, so embarrassing, and just my iPad was my pride and joy, and I was so sad. And so as soon as I got my new iPad for Christmas, I was like, I'm getting Apple Care so that I can get my screen replaced for free if something like that happens again. So that's the only reason why I have Apple Care, and it's so cheap per month, so I was like, let's go ahead and get it. $47.35. I really want to look into some different insurance because that insurance payment seems to be ridiculous to me. All right, so I want to pull up my on-screen calculator. All right, so here is my calculator. All right, and so we have $43.22 plus $15.25 plus $104.76 plus $25.05 plus $20 plus $113.12 plus $349 plus $214. Oh, caught that error. Okay, so that's actually gonna be $219.29. It's usually $214, but it's $219, and then plus $547.35 equals. All right, I'm gonna change this really quick. All right, so 19. All right, and I'm just gonna swipe that back over. All right, so I'm gonna put our total over on the left side of this number 3 total because we don't know our actuals yet. So I'm gonna put over here $2,601.28. I will say I don't like that there's not a budgeted and actual column, like, because I do want to budget, or I want to know how much I'm budgeting for each category before the actuals come out. All right, so I guess that's what this is for. But okay, so let's go to our debt next. So I do have my school. Then we have a mattress firm credit card. And we have Citizens Pay. Did I spell that right? Sorry if you hear the tapping on the screen. I just thought about that. All right, so I like to put the dates for each one just to know when to expect it. All right, and then the amounts: $7.20 and 80 cents, $1.54 and 46 cents, $66.67, and then $48. I'm going to just put that underneath it, I guess. Okay, so $7.20 and 80 cents plus $1.54, 46 plus 66, 67 plus 48. All right, so that's $9.89.93. So now what I like to do, these are the two like necessities that we have for the pay period. I want to go and see how much we have left for each one to then contribute to our variable expenses. All right, so we have $3,813 and 93 cents minus $2,601 and 28 cents equals, and I like to just put a little arrow and then how much is left. All right, then we're gonna take that number and we're gonna subtract minus $989.93, and that's equals, so that comes out to be $222 and 72 cents. Then we're gonna move up to our variable expenses, and we have to for sure have gas. So we have our gas, and then that's not a lot left, so I'm guessing we're not going to be able to have much for anything else. So I'm just going to put household just for us to be able to buy groceries if we need to. I think my babies need some wipes, so we do have to go get some wipes. That just reminded me. So gas is going to be $90 because we both use about 45. Well, Tim's car uses about 35, and my car can use anywhere from 45 to 50 or 55. Then that leaves us with $132.72. All right, and so our total is $222.72, which it should be, and that leaves us with a zero-based balance. So that is everything. As I said, we will not be doing anything for sinking funds or savings. And I will not be, let me move this over. And I will not be cash stuffing. So this is where I would do my cash breakdown if I was going to do cash. But since I'm not doing cash, I'm not going to do that at this moment. Again, if you want me to go through this whole planner and just explain the different sections, I can do that. Just let me know in the comments below. So now for the whole entire paycheck breakdown or paycheck range breakdown, we're just going to make sure everything actually does line up correctly, and we're just going to put it there. This is just extra checking basically. So $3813.93 minus our variable expenses, which was $222.72, and then our fixed expenses are right there, $2,601.28, and then our debt, I believe, is $989.93. Yes, $989.93, and then we don't have anything for sinking funds or savings. Let's bring back our calculator. So we have 3813.93 minus 222.72 minus 2601.28 minus 989.93 equals 0. So we do check out. All right, so that is our paycheck breakdown for the rest of June on the 26th, or well, probably before the 25th, because I don't want to do it right before our next check, but closer to the 25th, I will be doing our monthly closeout so that you can see how we will be closing out the month of June, which is basically tracking everything. I hope everything makes sense. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions. So that is our June paycheck 2 budget. It's not perfect, but it's purposeful, y'all, and we're committed to showing up and being faithful stewards no matter what season we're in. If you had to dip into your emergency fund this month like us, or adjust your plan in any way, you are clearly not alone. That is life. But what matters most is that we keep going, keep budgeting, keep trusting God, and keep walking forward, y'all. So that is this week's budget. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if this blessed you or helped you in any way. And I will see you in the next video. Let's keep budgeting with purpose and living with joy. Love you.